Hello everybody. Great job last week in our first week of Counseling 53 online. I've decided to make a video or a screencast of me doing the PowerPoint for this week. So we'll try this out and see how it goes. So our topic for this week is learning styles, and if you have never assessed your learning style, I think that you're going to get a lot out of the information that's presented in this week's lecture as well as the resources that I have available for you. So what is a learning style? Learning styles are various approaches of taking in, organizing, and processing information. So it's basically using your senses to learn. And I really like this cartoon because it shows the girl is really very organized, sees things in a very step-by-step way of putting together the airplane, where the boy is visualizing what the airplane looks like and just starts putting it together. So if you've ever been to IKEA before, you know that you get a big box and you bring it home and you have to start putting that piece of furniture together. And sometimes that can be very frustrating for people. They can't read the directions very well or follow them very well. They're not sometimes that easy. Other people just lay everything out and start going and don't even bother to look at the directions. So just think of that as far as what is your learning style, what is your preferred way of getting things done. So right now what I'd like you to do is go ahead and cross your hands, just put them together, and just recognize which thumb is on top. So for me, my left thumb is on top, and if I switch it to my right thumb, it feels weird and odd and not natural. So it's the same thing with your learning style. It doesn't mean that you can't learn in a different way. It's just not your natural tendency. You're not always going to have an instructor who teaches to your learning style. So you have to adjust and to adapt and be flexible so that you can get the most out of that instructor's style without struggling. So it's not that instructors need to adjust to you, but that you need to recognize what your strengths are and how can you incorporate that into the way in which your instructor is teaching. So by knowing your learning style, you're obviously knowing your preferred way of learning. You're maximizing your understanding and as well as your potential in your grades and what it is that you're able to accomplish. You're increasing your effectiveness not only in school but also at work. By knowing your learning style and following the techniques that I'm going to present to you, you're going to enhance your self-esteem. So you're going to see yourself doing better in your schoolwork or at work, and of course that's going to make you feel better. And at the same time, that's going to reduce your frustration. By knowing your learning style, you're able to focus on your strengths. So I really also want to point out that there is no one way or best way of learning. It's your way. You may find that after you take the assessment that there are either you have two styles that are quite strong, or sometimes there's even three. So what I always tell students in that case is you're kind of lucky because you can adapt to the situation and the environment that you're in. So there's three types of learners that I'm going to talk about. The book actually talks about the fourth of the read-write learning style, but I like to concentrate on the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic. And so, again, if you have a mixture of two or three of those, then you are considered a mixed learner. So in the materials section of our Canvas account, there's a Learning Styles profile, and what I'd like you to do is to stop the PowerPoint now and go ahead and take that Learning Styles profile. What the profile asks you to do is to read the questions and then in the white box indicate if it's a 1, 3, or 5. So a 1 is it's least like you, a 3 is it's somewhat like you, and a 5 is it's a lot like you. And so you're going to read the 30 questions and put in your indicator 1, 3, or 5. And you want to kind of work at this quickly. You don't want to take a lot of time to process it. You really want to go with your first instinct. Then when you're done answering all the questions, you're going to add up the totals. So then you'll be able to see if you're an auditory, a visual, or a kinesthetic learner. So go ahead and pause the PowerPoint now and go ahead and do that assessment and then come back.